Okay, so let's even break this down.
All right, I'm going to do a reaction video to this, another video of a vegan slave.
Has there been any top 10 Olympians or even natural Olympian bodybuilders who have ate plant protein only?
Well, how many
Has there been any
astronauts are
top
vegan?
10 power lifters?
Well, how many
or
astronauts
strongmen?
are vegan? How many U.S. presidents have been vegan? Yeah, like you're talking about a niche sport that not many people do, and then you're talking about a
I'm
niche
talking about
diet
any
that not many
performance
people do.
sport.
You wouldn't
Literally pick
expect to see
any
many
performance
vegans.
sport, from tennis even.
Actually, one of the world champion tennis players is vegan. I think she
She full vegan though? She not cheating? How do we know she's not cheating?
actually won gold at the Olympics recently. There were a few medalists at the Paris Olympics that were vegan.
Maybe define it as more so a sport which requires large amounts of muscle mass, so strength sports, I would say.
Well,
More,
sure, but
I think
again,
endurance
strength
vegan
sports
diet,
are
sure.
extremely niche. Like, we care about them
Sure.
a lot, but
Yeah, these vegans, it might work for them. They're injecting steroids. That's what's creating the whole thing. It's not the vegan diet
nobody watches powerlifting.
or the protein.
Nobody knows
I
any
agree.
good powerlifters. Like, if you mention
We're not saying it's
nobody
not
would know who he
niche,
is.
but we're not saying it's niche, but like this is the niche that we operate in because it's of interest.
Well,
So you're
right.
trying to make an argument that endurance sports can't be.
I love how Vegan Slave is trying to convince these people to believe in something fake.
Vegan. I think it might even be more.
This is incredible. The other guy's laughing. He's like, this is like, I'm going to confirm your fake beliefs, but we
expect to see most Olympia competitors to like eat tons of meat, just because that's culturally normal and there's no anabolic difference. So why would
I like how he says it's culturally normal for us to eat meat. Of course it is. Yeah. Okay. Let's say that it's culturally normal for us to eat meat so we can stay healthy. It's what we're supposed to eat, meat. Anytime we eat anything outside of eating meat, we suffer. We suffer all kinds of problems, metabolic diseases, which you call diseases. I call them adaptations. We suffer from all these adaptations. Yeah, our body's trying to protect us, but it can't because it's all over the place.
they, go on a plant-based diet?
It gets worse as you get older. Your body doesn't function the same. Your progenitor cells, they don't function the same. If you break a bone in your whatever, your 40s or 50s or whatever, it's going to take you months for it to heal. But as a young person growing up, it'll take you a couple of weeks.
So
See,
that's,
this
that's
is
my
where-
evidence.
Competed in bodybuilding? Is there
Sorry?
anything like that? Have you ever competed in any strength sports or bodybuilding?
I did a bodybuilding show. I think it's been pretty much exactly like 10 years now. The judging was fucked. The guy who beat me, who I think came in third, he didn't even have abs. Like, I was fucking peeled. He was bigger than me, but no conditioning whatsoever. I came in really peeled, shredded, great body composition. If you look at my like profile photo on YouTube, that was me 2 weeks before the show. So I was looking fucking good. Not Olympia caliber, obviously, but I was looking pretty good for a natural athlete who just, just does this recreationally.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying you don't look good. I think you look great. I just
Thanks.
think that the large swath of people is probably they're probably eating meat, and as of that, seeing success, right? So
Well-
I mean, yes, I'm not arguing against the fact that you can eat.
Why wouldn't a meat eater see success? That makes absolutely no sense. What a person eating their natural diet, why wouldn't they see success? They'll be unsuccessful if they eat something outside that realm.
A plant-based diet or entirely plants and then still get gains.
Maybe these other people taking these plants are on steroids.
But I'm arguing that there's an interesting selection bias. Like people choose to eat meat and seem to do very well in competing, and it's
They choose to eat meat. Why is that? Because we have marketing and variety now in stores of like garbage food and trying to compete with natural food. Is that what you're trying to say? So junk food trying to compete with natural food. Now, natural on this planet will always beat the fake food that man makes because man makes garbage.
interesting fact that is maybe a bug and not a feature, but to me it seems more of a feature.
Well, again, there's no particular reason to think that. If you look at true ileal digestibility, there's very little difference between plant and animal foods. So usually only
No, there's very little difference. He's making it up. Prove it that there's very little difference. Just look at Goaddis's videos. He tells you more. And he even posts it. You can even look it up on Google. Plants are deficient in nutrients. Meat is not deficient in any nutrients. The plants are deficient in more than 15 nutrients.
like 1, 2, 3% difference.
I love it. It's only 1, 2, 3% difference in plants. Doesn't matter. If there's a difference, then it's dysfunctional. It's not your diet. It's not your diet. Vegan Gains even admits in his conversation, because he's just trying to fool all you, but it's kind of obvious. Anything that's deficient is what? It's no good. It's deficient. I mean, it's like buying a car and the carburetor's missing, this, that, a whole bunch of parts are missing. It's deficient. Then it runs like garbage and then it conks out.
If you look at nitrogen balance studies, the slope and
Whoa, nitrogen balance. Everybody knows that vegan diets are associated with low nitrogen balance.
intercept for nitrogen balance identical between animal and plant foods.
Absolutely not identical between animal and plant foods, and I can prove this. He's lying. He's lying to these guys. Let's see.
According to Vegan Health, nitrogen balance study on vegans, the mean absolute nitrogen balance was minus 1.38 plus or minus 1.22 grams D, and was statistically lower than the nitrogen equilibrium score of 0, indicating that the average vegan wasn't in nitrogen balance.
Wow, if you're not in positive nitrogen, vegans are not in positive nitrogen balance. Therefore, they are catabolic because nitrogen balance negative nitrogen balance is correlated with catabolism.
According to Wikipedia, negative nitrogen balance is associated with burns, serious tissue injuries, fever, hyperthyroidism, wasting diseases, and periods of fasting.
This means that the amount of nitrogen excreted from the body is greater than the amount being ingested, yes. So,
according to NCBI, if more nitrogen is lost than given, the patient is considered to be catabolic or in negative nitrogen balance.
there you go. And meat, when you eat meat, you're in positive nitrogen balance, you're anabolic. So you're catabolic. So what is he talking about? He lied. He said that they're both the same. That's not true. He fabricated that. Richard fabricated that shit, bros. He fucking fabricated that, man.
Whatever.
He fabricated that shit. What the fuck, man? He's such a liar.
You have a selection bias because you are genetically in a position to be able to do those things. You have some sort of propensity towards strength gains and muscle gains, which is a great thing. And I'm not, saying that you're.
I understand. The point I'm trying to make, though, is like you're not going to die if you go vegan. Clearly, it can support muscle.
You are going to die if you go vegan. He's lying to you. That's why the vegan compilations come out. They're going to die. They're disintegrating. They're dying. You can die if you go vegan. If you don't eat meat, you will die.
Growth and strength. And if it was really.
People have died on YouTube doing vegan diets. And we know about it. They've died. They went all out vegan and they died. So he's lying.
Bad for you, probably wouldn't be able to hit those numbers. But again, according to the data, there doesn't seem to be a difference between plant and animal sources of protein when it comes to body composition changes.
This is the part, sorry, I got cut off there when I was doing the thing. So he's trying to compare plant and protein, the protein sources from meat. It's not. He's trying to compare them. They're not.
And strength increases.
I would say that there's also an equivalent amount of data that says just the opposite. I think there's
right.
a lot of confounding.
Really.
That's right. It says the opposite.
And conflicting data. Yes,
so
really. Like
there is older research. So yeah, there is older research.
Look, man, I did some other videos on it. I just didn't post it. I brought up information because he kept lying. But because the video got so fucked up, I didn't post it. It's too bad. I should knit it together and post it. I can show you report after report I brought up. He lies. A vegan slave lies about everything.
Research. The problem with that research is they didn't control protein intake, and they also didn't manage branched chain amino acid intake. So there were massive differences in total protein intake and also just branched chain aminos. So if you have a vegan or vegan diet group consuming far less protein total and their branched chain amino acid
What far less protein? There's no protein in plants. I have no idea what he's talking about. Meat is protein. Plants are not protein. They're fiber. Plants are fiber. Meat is protein. They're getting no protein.
Is way lower. You're probably going to.
And it's deficient in these nutrients that are found within those fibers. And meat is not deficient. When you inside meat is the muscle. It's not deficient in any nutrients. It's packed with all of it.
See a difference, but again, the more recent clinical trials and randomized trials show if protein's equated, then there doesn't seem to be a difference. There's also been some
plants aren't protein.
Interesting aging studies.
They're fiber.
Sarcopenia or age-related muscle wasting is a big concern for the elderly.
Yes, and that's the reason why everybody's suffering and they can't walk and they can't move and they're all fucked up because they eat too many plants. Even if they are eating meat, they're eating too many plants and they're causing havoc in their system. Inflammatory responses and a whole bunch of stuff, poisoning, whatever, this, that, whatever.
And again, there's been some large prospective cohorts that found that it doesn't matter what the source of protein is, it just matters that you're getting enough protein to prevent sarcopenia.
What do you mean the source of protein? There's only one source. Animals, they're protein. For humans, they're protein. Plants are not protein to humans. They're fiber. They're cellulose, and we can't digest cellulose. Science tells you can't digest cellulose. I don't know what you're talking about, vegan slave.
I would argue sarcopenia and muscle gain are very two different things.
They are
though.
different, but again, there is an anabolic effect of protein.
There is an anabolic effect of protein, animal protein, but not vegan slave diet protein. There's no protein in there. That's why you're in negative nitrogen balance, because plants are not protein, dude. Get it?
Does prevent muscle wasting. If you can infer that data suggests that there's not a significant anabolic difference between animal and plant sources.
Yes, there's significant. I just posted it. It tells you catabolism is associated with that. That's why the vegan compilations they can't handle being on vegan diet. Their hair's falling out and everything's falling out. Your body can only sustain you for so long on a fake diet, and then you fall apart, you disintegrate. It's found in your cells. There's a bunch of stuff in your cells, but at some point you're shrinking. You're just going.
Protein.
I believe there is if you just look for it, right? I think the
That's right.
bias is that you look for research supporting your overall conclusion. Whereas if you were to look for research opposing your conclusion, you might actually find a lot of it that would actually
so over the last couple decades, there's been quite a few randomized trials comparing things like whey protein to soy, pea, rice protein isolates. Again, when proteins match, doesn't seem to really make a difference.
What year did those studies come out?
So again, between 2020 and now, basically.
So
again,
likewise, I have studies pulled up right in front of me, the role of anabolic properties of plant versus animal-based protein, in which they conclude that animal-based protein, while not maybe as rich in fiber, does have more anabolic properties than plant.
Well, the problem is I care most about body composition.
There you go. Even this guy's smart enough to understand that. You just have to pull it up. There's studies. There's nothing. There's some amino acids, but they're deficient in these plants, and they're not bioavailable to humans. That's why you're catabolic.
Position changes and strength increases. So you can find some mechanistic
Strength doesn't increase. They feel weakness and they feel tired and exhausted. You're disintegrating.
research showing muscle protein synthesis
Great
postprandially
point.
is
So
higher.
if that is the case, if that's what you care about, then we have a large cohort of people called bodybuilders.
Mm-hmm.
They all seem to eat
Cigarettes.
and
Does
strength.
that mean cigarette smoking is, good for you? And I'm not.
Yeah, if it's natural tobacco, may not be bad for you, but because you're smoking with, they put sugar in it and a bunch of other stuff, but I don't know. Then again, it's all bad for you. I don't like plants, they're toxic. So if you're smoking it, yeah, most likely it's bad for you because you're ingesting the toxins from it. Who knows?
Saying animal protein is worse. I'm like, what I'm suggesting is it's just as good.
It's not natural to smoke plants anyways. In nature, you wouldn't smoke any plants, just in this artificial world.
In terms of anabolism. So it would make sense.
Yeah, in terms of anabolism, it's catabolic. You're catabolic. Vegan diets are catabolic. They're deficient.
There's a cultural propensity to eat meat, and
Wait, you
it's
said
just as good
body
at muscle
composition,
building. You'd
you
see
have-
most bodybuilders
what's-
eat meat.
Do you have a six-pack right now?
Not right now. I'm currently dieting. I probably need to lose like another 15-ish.
Have you
20
ever
pounds.
been lean enough to have
yeah.
like a legitimate shredded
Oh
six-pack?
yeah. I got
Yeah,
down
I've seen
to
footage.
well below 10%. I was probably in around like 6-7% when I did a bodybuilding show years ago.
Okay. So I guess it's interesting because the things that you care about seem to also be present more so in populations that do eat the things that you think are not advantageous,
Like, what do you
or
mean?
at least ethically advantageous. Like you said, you care about strength and body composition. There's studies that show that there is a greater anabolic effect from animal proteins, but you said that that's
Well, again, that's
irrelevant because you care
mechanistic.
about-
That's looking at muscle
You
protein
care about the
synthesis
results.
postprandially.
But if we look at one of the largest cohorts in the entire world, what are they eating?
Well,
In all
that's-
strength sports,
that's not a
Olympic
cohort.
sports,
That's-
powerlifting,
Yeah, so
strongmen,
again,
bodybuilding.
there's not a
They're eat-
matched
They're
group.
eating meat because they're carnivores. That's why.
So if you were to show me a study where you have,
Only crazy people follow these cults like vegan slave diets.
two groups of bodybuilders,
Okay, so let's even break this down. Has there been any top 10 Olympians or even natural Olympian bodybuilders who have ate plant protein only?
well, how many
Has there been any
astronauts are
top
vegan?
10 power lifters?
Well, how many
or
astronauts
strongmen?
are vegan? How many U.S. presidents have been vegan? Yeah, like you're talking about a niche sport
They haven't been. They're not vegan. I don't know what you're talking about.
that not many people do, and then you're talking about a
I'm
niche
talking about
diet
any
that not many
performance
people do.
sport.
You wouldn't
Literally
expect
pick
to see
any
many
performance
vegans.
sport, from tennis even.
Actually, one of the world champion tennis players is vegan. I think she actually won gold at the Olympics recently. There were a few medalists at the Paris Olympics that were vegan.
Maybe define it as more so a sport which requires large amounts of muscle mass. So strength sports, I would say.
Well,
It's more
sure, but
partly
again,
endurance sports,
strength
vegan
sports
diet,
are
sure.
extremely niche. Like we care about them a
Sure.
lot, but nobody watches powerlifting. Nobody knows
Oh, I
any
agree.
good powerlifters. Like if you mention
we're not
Nick,
saying it's
nobody
not
would know who he
niche,
is.
but we're not
Sorry?
saying it's niche, but like this is the niche that we operate in because it's an interesting.
Well,
So
right.
you're trying to make an argument that endurance sports can't be vegan. I think it might even be more beneficial as long as they have that base level of muscle mass. They
I
create
would
more
say
like
vegan
cardiovascular
diets are
health.
probably more beneficial for endurance
Probably, yeah.
athletes because of like vasodilative properties of plant
Yeah, I
foods
would
and
have to agree
stuff.
that.
Vasodilated. He's making this stuff up, man. They found that fucking animal diets are the best for even long distance running and everything else. What did people eat in the past? There weren't potatoes around. Potatoes are new, even. I don't know what he's talking about. Bread is horrendous. It's ground up seeds. So you're telling me that people in the past, wow, this it's really great for you to eat these things like smashed seeds called bread and go and run in the street like a maniac. They're horrendously bad for you. They cut the society's lives were caught. Man, it was like they lived to 20 or 30 if they were lucky, eating bread all day because they ate all the animals around in Egypt. And then they started gardening, and then they depleted the land. That's why you see these fucking pyramids. It's all fucking desolate. You think they lived in a desert? No, man. There was an oasis there, but it's gone now because they destroyed it.
But the point I'm making is like bodybuilding is a very niche sport. Not many people do it.
Agreed.
Not many people do vegan diets.
They do it.
I'm postulating there isn't an anabolic difference between plant foods and animal foods. So when we live in a culture where it is just culturally normal to eat meat, you'd expect bodybuilders to.
There is a difference, okay? I don't know why he keeps reiterating the same thing. The guy just proved it on his computer. He said it's associated with catabolism, and I showed you that too. There is a difference. You're catabolic when you're on a vegan diet. Why? Because it's not protein. You're eating fiber. You understand me? And why people that eat meat, why are we in an anabolic state? Why are we anabolic? Why are we in positive nitrogen balance? Because we're eating what we're supposed to, meat. Protein.
Almost entirely, just be meat eating, and you'd expect to see most Olympia competitors to like eat tons of meat, just because that's
Yeah, they do. They eat that because that's what they're supposed to eat.
culturally normal, and there's no anabolic difference. So why?
What there is, man, there's no anabolic difference. Again, there's an anabolic difference. Why does he keep lying? Because he's trying to convince people into believing something fake. He's nuts.
They go on a plant-based diet?
This guy's such a fucking, you know what? Vegan Gains is such a fucking asshole lying to people. Everything he does is a lie. He said that plant protein is the same as plant protein, and they just said that it's vegan diets are associated with negative nitrogen balance, catabolism. What the fuck is he talking about?
So
See,
that's,
this
that's
is
what I
where-
heard of.
Competed in bodybuilding or
Sorry?
anything like that? Have you ever competed in any strength sports or bodybuilding?
I did a
I'm sorry, I might have gone over this twice because I fucked up. I don't know where the thing went.
bodybuilding show. I think it's been pretty much exactly like 10 years now. The judging was fucked. The guy who beat me, who I think came in third.
Okay, I think I went over this. I'm not really sure, man, because the thing blinked out previously and then I did it over again. I don't know, but whatever. Who cares?
Didn't even have abs. Like, I was fucking peeled.
Yeah.
He was
I
bigger
went
than
over
me.
this. I went
Better
over this
success
stuff
doing
already.
something else. About 10 to 15% on average, and there are some hyper responders. They seem to be about 10 to 20% of the population, where you see even greater reductions of around 20 to 30%. So that
He's making this stuff up.
kind of reduction in cholesterol does
Let me explain something to you. If you lie in just one part of the video, then the whole video is a lie, because vegan lies in his videos. He lies. He makes up stuff.
significantly reduce heart disease
He lied to these two guys, and the two guys know that he's lying.
risk over time. So that is still something you would want to be interested in. And on top of that, plant sources
We're not interested in your plants, and we're not interested in your fucking lies.
also contain fiber. Fiber also lowers your cholesterol score.
Contains fiber. We don't need fiber. As carnivores, we don't need fiber. I don't go and eat my cotton shirts because, hey man, they're made out of fiber. I love cotton because it's made out of fiber. I should eat fiber. They make rope out of fiber. You can't digest fiber. That is the stupidest thing I ever heard. That's why you're shitting all day. Go look at your shit when it comes out. It's fibrous. It's all made out of little fibers because it's just gooey goo shit coming out. It just smells like crap. It stinks. You're fermenting this shit in your belly like alcohol. It's disgusting.
Or even further. So when you're talking
But there's
about
also
Your bowels are backed up with like all this gunk in there called fiber. It's like it's like cat hairs, cats eating cat hair. It's all fucking backed up in there. You can carry up to 40, 20, 30, 40 pounds of poop of like fiber because you're destroying your stomach. You won't be able to digest meat, the nutrients. You won't be able to digest it if you eat fiber. It's interfering with the digestion, with the absorption.
placement.
there's also there's also phytolipids, right, which also contribute to your total cholesterol count. There's also an inverse U curve with total cholesterol, where if you have too little, you also you do develop. Yes, there is.
No.
You do develop. This is
I can explain why.
solidified.
I can.
And listen, Vegan Gains. No. And I can explain. He's explaining. This guy's intelligent on the left because I watch his channel. He's really smart. That's why he's laughing at Vegan Slave, because he's stupid.
Explain why.
He thought that this guy was stupid, but he's really smart.
Mendelian randomizing control drugs.
No. Actually, Mendelian randomization studies debunked that idea. When you look at Mendelian randomization studies, people with genetically lower cholesterol levels live longer, and you actually see a greater presence of.
That's a lie. Low cholesterol levels are associated with death. You die if you have low cholesterol levels. High cholesterol levels are associated with longevity. That's why you see centenarians, when they do tests on these centenarians, they have high cholesterol levels. They're eating a lot of animal fat is what they're eating. Now, if you're eating seed oils, well, then you're in trouble, man. That shit sticks to your cells like glue.
Those alleles in elderly
It takes more than 2 to 3 years to get rid of all that seed oil in your system. You're so fucked.
populations, because the people who don't have those good genetics, they end up dying. So
Good genetics, they die? What is he talking about? He's stupid.
Mendelian randomization studies have actually debunked that idea, and they're
No, it hasn't. He's lying. They've made it up because people get paid off. They make up stuff. But regardless, we already know through experience what we're going to get.
has actually been a very good study published.
Look, how do you explain the vegan compilations of all these vegans fucking dropping off the face of the planet? They're all dropping off the vegan diets.
Where they accounted for reverse cause.
Look, he's trying to look. That guy's laughing at Vegan Slave because he's like, this guy trying to convince me in something fake, to believe in something fake. Give me a break.
So they included things like lag time. They got rid of anybody who had diseases like cancer. And again, they actually didn't find that inverse U curve.
They got rid of cancer. The plants cause cancer. They're the cause of cancer. It's based on an adaptation. Your body's trying to protect you. You've poisoned yourself with these poisonous plants. They poisoned your cells, so you started replicating cancer cells. It's to keep you living a little bit longer so you procreate you fucking die, procreate fucking die. Get it? Because your body said, I've exhausted it, I can't do it anymore. But once you stop eating plants and then you start eating your diet, your food as a carnivore, red meat and water and high animal fat and meat like beef, it goes away, especially grass-fed. It goes away. The cancer goes away and your cells can start replicating again. It's a prevention. Just like diabetes, it's caused by what? Eating sugar. What's sugar from? Plants. Sugar's not found in meat. So you become diabetic. Then the insulin goes, whatever. It wants you to stop eating these drugs called plants. These drugs called plants. Plants are drugs. They're junk food and drugs is what they are.
So in your mind, then, the longest lifespan, like let's just say super centenarians, what would your lay of the land be in terms of their dietary intake normally?
Well, actually, the oldest
Oh, I can't wait till he fucking makes up this shit.
living population currently known today is the Californian Adventist vegetarians.
They're not vegetarian, man. They eat meat over there. It's fucking lies, lying.
I think they have an average life expectancy of 87 between both men and women.
He considers that long, 87? Man, humans used to live like, I know there's a guy on the internet, some guy from World War I, he lived to 120. There's people living to 100, maybe over 100, 110. There's a place where I'm at right now. I'm talking to a woman. She's fucking 96 years old. She comes over here to the church, and I know another person. We're talking about how old they were, 106 years old. Jesus. They were throwing her a party, 106 years. I don't know what he's talking about. And they all ate meat. And the woman that told me, the 96-year-old woman, I told her, I eat meat, a lot of meat. She goes, oh, I love meat. She goes, I can't get enough of it. I eat a lot of meat. Yeah, they eat a lot of meat. That's why they're living so long. They eat less of these stupid plants. Not that they're not eating them sometimes, maybe cheating something, I don't know. But they eat a lot of meat.
They live on average 10 years longer than your average American. No
vegan on any vegan diet lives that long, because there's no studies done on it. Anyways, the studies are, the proof is in the pudding. The vegan compilations, they all drop off within 2 years.
The Okinawans in Japan, they have a greater amount of centenarians, so people living over 100, but their average life expectancy is actually lower. So the reason you see so many people in that population living to over 100 is probably more to do with genetics. There's just a greater amount of people with those sorts of alleles, like,
Has nothing to do with genetics. It has everything to do with what they're consuming.
Low cholesterol, stuff like that. Some of it
Low
might
cholesterol associated with death.
have to do with small religious
Your
minorities.
cells are made up of cholesterol. You need animal cholesterol to keep you healthy. It repairs your DNA, your body, the functions in your cells. That's what it does.
A lot of them are Buddhists, so some of them are actually strict vegans. They won't even eat fish. So that might have something to do with it too. And then there's Hong Kong. They're very long living, but it's only the women that live particularly long. The men also live long, but not quite as long as the women. So the population with the highest average life expectancy is the Californian Adventist vegetarians. So if I were to make a dietary recommendation for people if they want to live the longest, it would be a plant-based dietary pattern.
What? He's making that stuff up. They want to live the longest, eat plant-based. Plants are toxic and they're poisonous. How can something poisonous and toxic make you live long? That makes absolutely no sense, which causes every metabolic disturbance and disease in your body. He's crazy.
Fruits and vegetables, lots of beans and lentils.
Let's see, fruits and vegetables, sugar, fructose, fiber, can't digest it, okay. That's all it is sugar. Vegetables, what? Sugar, fiber, sugar. Where's all the nutrients? Zero, nothing. It's just drugs.
Tofu, as
So where would you get your omega-3 content then?
Doesn't Blaha eat tofu? That's what he eats.
Because
Yeah,
we all know that alpha-linoleic acid is very poorly converted into
Yeah.
usable form of
So
omega-3.
there's a lot of kind of controversy around that. The best research suggests that it might have either no benefit or small benefit when it comes to heart disease prevention.
What do you talk about? There is no heart disease prevention. Stop eating plants and you'll prevent heart disease, okay? If you eat animal products like a carnivore like you're supposed to, you'll never suffer from heart disease or any of these problems. If you want to prevent it, don't eat any plants. It's really simple.
As far as the populations that seem to be most benefited from EPA DHA, it'd probably be pregnant women and children.
I like how it says EPA DHA. Just say what it is, omega-6, omega-3. It's high in omega-6s, these stupid-ass plant seed oils.
Haven't really seen much compelling evidence that in adult men or women who are not planning to become pregnant, that it really improves any health parameters. There might be a small benefit.
Improves? Plants don't improve anything. They destroy you. They prevent you from becoming, they make you infertile.
But I haven't seen much. If you are interested in getting EPA DHA on a vegan diet, and you don't want to rely on your own conversion, you can just take an algae-based DHA supplement.
Supplements are synthetic. They're artificial. They're not good for you. They're toxic. What are you talking about? Where do they come from, these supplements? If plants don't have them, where are you getting them from, Vegan Gains? Where are you getting them exactly? They don't exist there. Where are they coming from?
That's where the fish get it. The fish actually don't produce EPA DHA. They get it from algae. So you can get it directly from the source, and EPA DHA supplements also aren't contaminated with
They get it from the algae. Okay.
pollutants that are found in fish. So might actually be a safer source.
Safer source? The safest source is once the fish is processed, it's a lot safer to get it from the fish. We eat fish. And we eat animals. I personally believe that beef is the best for us because this whole mercury thing about fish getting mercury, I don't know. I just don't trust it.
Well, I have to go, unfortunately, you
Yeah, no
guys.
problem.
I can't stay on all night. But I appreciate you getting on, man. This has been fun.
Yeah,
Interesting discussion. Thank you.
I like your channel, dude. I'll keep watching. Maybe we can have
Yeah.
another talk some other time.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, his channel's really growing fast. That guy's smart. He's one smart dude. All right.
Bless your hearts. I do have to go, guys. Thank you so much.
I'll say this. He's smart, but I don't think he's that smart. There's a lot of people out there. They're smart, but they're not that smart.
For tuning in if you're watching it live. Adam, thank you for being here from South Africa currently and risking your life. Thank you, Vegan Gains, for stepping in and having a conversation with us. And yeah, thank you for the fucking swaths of people that commented and viewed. So I appreciate you all. Have a beautiful night, all right?
All right, take care,
Thanks,
dude.
man.
See you in the next one, friends. Tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. Another vegan slave thing.